My name is Graham Parker and you're watching the Hoof GP. In this episode we're looking at cow 300 who had an unbelievably sore front left foot and 2 sore back feet. We're also looking at a foot spa for these cows. This is the Hoof GP, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can follow the story of cows just like this.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
Just a couple of weeks ago, cow 300 had this sole fracture in her back left foot. Now we've got it in the air, let's see how this first foot's looking today. The order of the day for a foot like this is extreme caution. She really doesn't need all that much done to it. We just need to check that the lesion has in fact healed. Which, luckily for us and the cow, it has. Now this is her back right foot, which was much worse around 8 weeks ago. As you can see, she had a protruding wall ulcer. We attached a wooden block, which has now worn away, and did the best job we could of trimming it out. So let's see how she's looking now. As we begin the trim, clearly that outer or lateral claw is still suffering from a major problem. But I'm afraid to say, there are bigger, more complicated problems for this cow.
Okay, so this is a real issue. Can you spot what's wrong? This is a white line lesion, and it's a problematic one because that, even if it healed perfectly first time, would still take about 7 months to heal because you have to wait on the hoof horn on the side of the wall growing all the way down to the base. Otherwise, obviously, you'll still see the problem. The problem is we've been putting blocks on here, which has overloaded this part of the sole, causing a sole fracture, which is bad. Lots of you guys ask me if putting blocks on can cause problems, and this is the obvious problem. You're overloading one of the digits and thereby causing a problem, but you need to do that to fix the problem on the other claw, if that makes sense.
Not all hoof horn is created equal, folks. There are 3 main different types of hoof horn. You have wall horn, solar horn, and periopelhorn. Periopelhorn is the soft, pliable hoof horn you find towards the heel of a cow's foot, and it's there as a landing pad, which is why it's kind of soft and squidgy. The periopelhorn at the heel of the foot extends down the sole around 1/3 of the way, and that junction between the normal solar horn and the periopelhorn is a weak point, so when there's too much pressure on it, it fractures and causes these problems. This fracture has caused us a real dilemma. We need to attach a block to the affected claw to get the other affected claw off the ground. But how can we do that now?
Excuse the hair. So we're going to use this horseshoe block, but look, this part here is encroaching on the lesion or the sole fracture, which is going to cause even more problems.
I used to work in kitchens, and in kitchens we used to use a thing called System D. It comes from the French word débrouiller. It basically means someone who can think, adapt, and overcome problems quickly by improvising. And System D is something everyone on a farm needs to learn. Now that we've managed to attach a block and avoid that painful sole fracture, we do need to address this problem. It really hasn't improved all that much from the very first time that we attended to this back right foot. This is a wall ulcer, and they are notoriously hard to fix because of the protruding flesh. But it is something we can fix with perseverance and a little help from the farmer. I can heal up the lesion, but dermatitis is the ever-present enemy, and we need to get rid of it. First though, we need to get rid of that sharp edge on the horse block. So we do that before asking Craig to wrap up this foot.
And while she wraps that, we'll go and do the front left foot. Sorry. Look at the difference in that. So here is a video of the very first time we saw her. This whole area is completely open. There's pus filling the whole cavity within her foot. Then we revisited her 4 weeks later, and this is how it was looking then. Quickly fast forward to today, and look, it has completely healed. It's not sore in any way. It's still kind of pinky because it's new hoof horn, but apart from that, she's really good. We're just going to put a really thin wooden block on this cow, just to make sure there's not too much pressure on the claw that was affected. But we don't want it to go the same way as the back claw, so we're going to put a full height wooden block on and then reduce it down to half the height it should be.
Sometimes I can't breathe, but it feels like you're the one who saves me. When I try, but don't succeed. Yeah, it feels like you're the one who saves me, the one who saves me.
So while we leave him there, gluing that block on, it gives me a little chance to talk about something that you guys don't really see. You see, yes, what we're doing in the course right now is really important for cow number 300, but it's not everything. If we just left that cow to its own devices and did what we're doing, then she would continue to have digital dermatitis. And like I said in the video I uploaded the other day, if a cow has digital dermatitis on a lesion, there's no chance it's healing. And when I say no chance it's healing, I really do mean no chance it's healing. This isn't the bit where I go on about cute cuddly farmers being fantastic to the cows. This is the bit that I tell you about what farmers are doing behind the scenes when we are not here to make sure that their hoof health is being promoted all the time. You see, it's their job to make sure that cows don't have digital dermatitis, and that what we do can have the full benefit of the hoof trim for the cow. In other words, they need to keep these cows' feet clean. And at this farm, they do it using a hoof count foot bath. This is probably the best hoof bath on the market, and it's fantastic for disinfecting their feet and making sure that they stay clean and healthy. Hoof count aren't paying me to say good things about the foot bath. They're really not. But a hoof bath like this is fantastic. It's automated. So once the foot bath is completely dirty, it opens itself up and empties it out. It then rinses itself out with a high pressure jet of water so that the bottom of it is completely clean. You can see the bottom's rubberized as well. There's stainless steel on the sides. These are fantastic. And just look at the cows going through it. Once it's completely clean, it fills itself back up with water and the chemical, and then the cows can walk through it. And as you can see here, the cows walk through it just fine. They're completely used to it, and this is keeping their feet healthy. I don't think they know that, but if they did know that, it would help encourage them through, not that they need it. And as you can see, once all of the cows have been through 100 or 150 or whatever amount it's set to, the hoof bath empties itself, cleans itself, and fills it up again, ready for the next milking. There are all sorts of systems in place on farms looking after cows' feet. It's not just about hoof trimming, and this farm is doing a serious amount to keep up the welfare of their cows' feet. This is a seriously impressive farm. It's actually the farm that I showed you a couple of months ago where they were milking in a very small and dark parlour. Things have changed here for the better. Let me know in the comments if you want a tour of this amazingly technologically advanced farm. Anyway, let's get back to that cow and see how that front left foot is looking.
So this is cow 300 as she was just 8 weeks ago, in a serious amount of pain. This wasn't nice to look at, but we were hopeful and we've persevered so far, and this is how she's looking today. A little perplexed. But seriously, she is walking fantastically well on that front left foot now. The back left is absolutely spot on, but that back right is continuing to be a bit of a problem.
So like I said in the intro, my name is Graham Parker and you've been watching The Hoof GP. Guys, thanks for coming along on this journey, and thanks for being a part of Cow 300's story, because it is a story, it's ongoing, and we will persevere until she's completely healed. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.